everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. Don and Nancy Carson coming to you from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Really looking forward to covering a couple of things tonight. Don has a few housekeeping tasks. He was actually going to let me take the call exclusively tonight, and he had another event, and he was so terrified to let me talk to all of you by myself that he actually is like, no, I'm going to cancel my plans. I'll be there. I'm going to be there because he's afraid I'm going to tell everybody, don't learn the compensation plan. Don't worry about anything. The company will take care of everything for you. And that wasn't really my intention. I did say that don't make anything specific about what I'm going to talk about, because I'm one of those people that likes to just feel things, and I get a feel off of I get a feel off the field, I get a feel off of people, I get plugged into things. And yesterday I was watching the news, and everything on there was making me a little sad in my heart. And so I did something that I haven't done in a while, and everybody that is in this business is on a personal growth journey. And so first thing this morning, I felt like I needed to change my energy. And so I just did a quick read, negative self-talk and how to change it. And really, honestly, I probably ran through this whole thing, as you can see how thick it is.
Well, that is the short version.
Yeah, it is the short version.
Which we have the long version.
We do. It's a Cliff Notes version, but it was perfect for just changing my energy, changing my thought pattern, go back to a news diet. I think I need that because I can only handle so much of what's going out there in the universe. Sometimes I need to unplug from it. And everybody that's on here has been on their own personal growth journey. And so I think that sometimes we forget where we are, and we compare somebody's today with somebody else's tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, we've read a whole bunch of books, and we've been in this industry for a long time, and we've listened to a lot of professional speakers, and we've been along that path. And there's a lot of people on here you forget that have never done that. They've never necessarily invested that time in whatever book it is that they get those aha moments from, or whatever book it is where they read something and they get out of their own way. And so I think it's really important for everybody on here, no matter where you are, to just realize that you can start anywhere. You can start somewhere really light and easy like that.
So Nancy, let me ask you then. So the folks that come to these Zooms, watch the recording after that, don't even know what this business is about.
Right.
And, for them, they're going, okay, why is she sharing a book about positive thinking, self-talk, and I don't even know what the company is that they're talking about? So, I mean, I'm only asking you that for one reason. What would give you, the positive feeling that was important to share, considering, what we know about what we did to get to where we are today?
Well, I think just investing in yourself and investing in all of the personal growth tools that are available to you help you in any business you're in, any business, any career, any relationship, anything. Like, it helps you with your relationship with your children. It helps you with your relationship with your spouses. It helps you with your contemporaries. It helps you with absolutely everything, your friendships. If you can be empathetic and step outside of your own self for a minute, put the shoe on the other foot. And I think so much of what we learn is doing that it helps you in everything. It helps you in all business. It helps you in all.
So that's all business.
All business.
So let's go and drill down to our
what
business
we are doing here,
that we're talking about in particular, and how what you just said could help somebody understand what Collect Direct could offer you.
Well, I think that there's some people that are on our group here, on our call tonight, that have clicked into an opportunity, and they've always maybe been in a career that has, you go to work and somebody tells you what to do, just like when you go to school and someone tells you what to do. And when you're self-employed or a business owner and you have to be self-driven and self-motivated, sometimes you got to look for places to start. And I find that personal growth,
it's a hard one for a lot of people. Like,
it is goals.
Like, we talked to our son and we talked to him about, hey, this is a good book. He won't do that. He pushes back on us, right?
Yes.
But a lot of people out there.
And a lot of people have to be ready.
has to be ready. And that's what we talk about often about, hey, why would you want to do this?
Right.
And so often for those of you that are brand new to coming to a Zoom like this, somebody invited you for a reason because they care for you, number one. Number two, they've heard something in something you've said to them that said, hey, man, I just can't plan a trip this year, or I'm a little afraid that I can't help my kid go to university, or there's a wedding coming, or there's a holiday season coming, and man, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to put food here and there. And the other thing, maybe you heard cash flow. Maybe you heard in those words that those folks are looking for something maybe to help them, and they know their boss,
looking for more time,
or maybe they're looking for more time, and
maybe they're looking to work from home.
So you listen all the time, and often when you're looking at a business adventure like a home-based business of any kind, the real important thing is to listen, right, Nancy? I mean, the listening
100%
is so important for all of you to really get your head around. Okay, so we're a collect direct company that has millions and millions of items that we can market through a point click share method of distribution, and that detail we can cover for 15 minutes on the Zoom tonight. But leading up to that, we thought, what is it that moves us to help people? Well, I think you've got to understand first and foremost if they want to be helped,
right?
Because they don't work for you.
No, and I've said to so many people so many times, they go, I tried that and it wasn't for me.
Right.
And
it's one of those things.
It's one of those things.
Right.
And I'm going, but did you actually work it or do it? Like, did you ever tell any other human being on earth that you were in this business? Or was it a secret?
Yeah. And so look, this is brass tacks, nuts and bolts. What does it take to be successful? Quick conversation for all of you. Most of you have a career if you've been in a job setting, or maybe you've gone to university for 4 years or 5 years, you have a degree, and that allowed you to get a career that paid you maybe a little bit more than if you wouldn't have got that degree. But did you go to your first month of that education and say, this isn't for me? Or did you stick it out for 5 years?
Well, look at you. You taught for 11 years.
I taught for 11 years before I even went into
business. And you were a teacher and did that. And then you always had like this something that was in the back of you that you just felt unfulfilled completely in what you were doing.
We often talk about that caterpillar and butterfly story where, maybe I just felt, like you said, I needed more, or was I reaching my full potential? And at the end of somebody's life, they can look back, and when do you, at the end of that life, somebody said to you, "Is there anything you wish you would have done?" And I will predict that if you don't do the things that you could do in your life, you're going to have a really sad answer. Because we have so much potential, each and every one of us.
I know. I had something happen to me today. I was online on social media, because Don had some contractors here. And so he says, don't worry, my wife's not leaving the house today. So I actually had the opportunity to look on social media. And there was actually a young girl that was on there, and she was doing a home-based business, not this home-based business, but a home-based business. And I noticed her getting a lot of pushback from her contemporaries in her age group, telling her, no, don't do that, stop, a bunch of other stuff that can be very disheartening, especially if you haven't had any personal success yourself as a young person. Remember, I told you,
but those people are trying to keep them with them.
Right.
They're scared they're going to leave.
It's like the crabs in the bucket, right? Pulling them back into the bucket. But here was this young girl, and she's just really trying so hard to be not only a nurse and a mother, but she just had a baby and she's expecting another baby. And I'm sure she's trying to find a way to spend more time at home, maybe do some less shifts. And so this little side hustle is something that she can do from home. And somebody's being a crab and pulling her down.
Sure. And that won't work, or I've tried that before.
So I felt like I needed to defend what she was doing a little bit.
Did you comment?
And I commented, and I went on there and I said to this other person who is very much younger than me, but I said, I just want to say that I was also knocked off my reel when I was like 19 years old by a bunch of people like you that said, don't do it. You can't do it. You don't have any room of influence. And I said, and here, lo and behold, in one of our companies, in our little side hustle in the cracks of our lives, we managed to make a very lucrative
Sure, and there's no guarantee in anything,
No,
but it was,
said,
it was
but it was
it
work.
was work, sure.
And we managed to do that. But some people don't know somebody that's actually done that. And so I felt like I needed to validate her efforts because she was out there doing what she wanted to do.
Sure.
And she didn't need someone pulling the rug out from her right from the beginning, from the get-go, because I remember what that felt like.
So why did we lead with all of that for those of you that maybe watch this recording after? Because this is a journey. This is a first step for many of you on a journey that you're looking for support in. And in network marketing, what you really you have to understand is that there's a lot of people that don't make a penny unless you make a penny. And that's a really valuable part of this industry. It's the coaching. It's the team attitude that comes with it. Look, we're going to share with you briefly a concept of retail rewards, pointing, clicking, and sharing, using a postcard that allows you to have a QR code that drives people for validation to a magazine. And then you turn it over and there's a QR code that drives people to my website, my shopping cart. And if somebody buys something, I get paid. That's how simple our business is. Point, click, share, point, click, share. And, you know, I know in my traditional business where I have currently more employees than I should have, but it's the tail end of our season. It's hard when you have to lay them off, right? And these folks are going to do what in the winter? Well, they're going to go and maybe not come back. So you try to keep them as long as you can. I only share that with you because traditional business today is so tough that there's a lot of companies that aren't going to make it again,
right?
Because of
look at our industry,
interests that are climbing, interest levels, and so on. Now, look, that's not doom and gloom. So why we want to start off with that once again is that this is so different than anything I've personally ever experienced in my business career.
Well, there's nothing else like it.
To be involved in a company that has this much inventory, spread out amongst these many categories, standalone,
nobody else out there doing it,
debt-free,
category creator,
that allows you to take all of that inventory with your computer, your phone, and point, click, and share it. And if somebody buys it and you get paid and you didn't have to physically buy it yourself and inventory it, I've never seen anything like this.
No.
So for those of you that are wondering, okay, where are they going with this? I'm going to share you a few slides here, but it's about technology. And like you, Nancy, and myself, we're not the most technical people. We struggle with a lot of things. Like,
oh, I told you this morning that my iCloud was full.
Yeah, I love
Don goes, what do you mean it's full? And I said, well, I don't know where the cloud lives. It's somewhere out there, but mine is full.
Yeah,
so,
and people are telling me that I have to spend money on my iCloud, and I go, where is it?
Yeah, more cloud.
And
funny, I would say,
so we're not the most technical people,
no,
right?
No.
So
we rely on other people's technology
so
and their advances.
So what we look for is duplication and look for systems that you can duplicate. So as I share this screen here and kind of go into a little bit of an overview with you all tonight, like just to say, okay, you know, what if you could go into a situation, which this was the end of it, but where I could point, click, and share for retail rewards, how would that pay me? Well, I'm relying now on technology, even though I don't know a lot about it, because what's happened in the last 10, 15 years is social media came along, and that social media allowed us to have a bigger audience from our comfort of our own home. Right?
It's true. I remember a day when you would say I was on a Zoom and people would have no idea what that meant.
Yeah, I mean,
and now Zooming, especially during the pandemic, has become so customary. Everybody does it. People were meeting their lawyers that way, meeting their doctors that way, going to school that way, doing all of their connecting with their family and relatives that way. So
and it's not going to stop. It's only going to get bigger. And people are buying online, right? Even though you can be frustrated. The biggest thing about online buying is there's a trust factor.
Yes.
And
I fell into that category.
In the collectible space, because we are promoting collectibles, right? The concern really is, am I going to get what I paid for? Is this item a legitimately graded item in that space? And so when you're dealing with a branded company called Collect Direct, who have authenticators that are constantly going through their products and looking for them, you know, you can trust that. And they will verify that they're sending you what they're telling you is online because their credibility is online for it. Now, don't get me wrong. We have different packages. You can, you know, dip your toes and try, but if you're buying a specific item that's worth $3,000 or $2,000 or $1,000, I mean, there is a group out there right now that are saying they're going to 10x the collectible industry. And for those of you who don't know what that means, it's take what you think the collectible industry is worth today, and they're going to help it be 10 times bigger. Well, let's talk about that for a second. When you look at e-commerce today being around 5.8 trillion, expected to go to 8 trillion over the next 3, 4, 5 years, it's just going to keep growing, which means more or eyeballs looking for more things. But then if we look specifically at the collectible space and just this industry, I'm told there's 200 million Americans just in the United States that collect something.
That's incredible.
Like something. I mean, we're talking cups, spoons, hats, t-shirts, whatever, something. And that audience, 200 million, is a captive customer base.
Right.
Just in the US. Right now, currently, we're open in the United States, Canada, and Australia.
And they're kind of looking for you.
People are looking for these products people want.
Yes, they are.
But let's go a little bit further in this little conversation that we're having here tonight. And we talk about this $1 trillion number, and we talk about all of these people that are interested in finding items like this on eBay. I mean, there's 135 million customers in eBay, right?
Yeah.
And yet there's 200 million collectors just in the United States, and that eBay number is worldwide. I get excited about this concept. I mean, I've had great conversations with people that are in this industry that have made lots of money in the networking industry, and they're coming here because they see this as a massive customer opportunity. Why do I say that? Because each and every one of you will learn shortly that you can just share these links, and if somebody buys something, you get paid, right? A retail reward. So we want you all to understand that you're here for a reason. Don't think this is going to be easy. Understand you're going to have to go to work. Like Nancy said, if somebody says to you this won't work, tell them to go pound sand and go read a good book or phone one of us, and we'll help you understand why this is going to work.
I found when you throw yourself out into the universe, people will eliminate themselves as to who's going to cheerlead for you. And that was kind of the moment that I was having today. I felt like this poor girl didn't have a cheerleader, and so I came to her defense in a roundabout way. And I thought, geez, wouldn't it have been great if I let myself be vulnerable enough to share my opportunity with people out into the universe, and then I could see and find my cheering squad instead of the people that are gonna
try to hold
crabs in the bucket. And like, it's such an easy way to eliminate people's opinions from who you're allowing access to your energy. And I guess that was what I was starting with this morning, was like, needing to read that book was just about changing my energy, because that is a very important,
getting yourself back on a positive mindset.
It's really important, especially if you're going to talk to somebody. Do not talk to somebody about your business because you've just told yourself that you're going to talk to somebody and be in the wrong funky mood.
You've got to be in the right frame of mind, and that's why the world right now is in this funk, right? They're worried about fitness, they're worried about their finances, and often their health is a result of their finances being so bad.
And the news.
And the stress, and then so on. So as we look at all this stuff and we start realizing that there is opportunity out there, folks, the home-based business is one of the largest driving force of the monetary policies out there that are coming to light, because people are realizing that this technology is not going away. So people are going to find a way to open the eyes of people around the globe. And if they can open their eyes to what they're marketing, there's a potential of a commission.
Right.
We call it a commission. So there's your huge upside here. So I just want to, say to you, why do you want to be here? Let's find that out if you could. I mean, we talk about your why as being such an important part of it, but a lot of it'll just be plug into these things and listen to some of the positive thinking, and then learn what it is that we describe that says get in where you fit in, and learn how to point, click, and share. So what do we mean by that? This is kind of the basics of our program right here.
So you want to earn rewards. Just point, click, and share your website link, and let the team at Collect Direct go to work for you. Your customers or new members will make a purchase from our multiple priced and product options. The illustrations below show examples of sample order amounts, which for these examples would pay from $5 to $100 or more in a retail or fast start reward. Our system will calculate the rewards and volume earned and pay you accordingly on the next week's pay cycle. Retail and fast start rewards are paid on every customer and member's first order, as well as all customer reorders. We ship the product and pay you the following week. Plus, we place the appropriate amount of business volume into one of your team legs for future commission. It's as easy as that. See the compensation plan document for rules and payout amounts per sale, as well as what business volumes does for you and your potential earnings.
So it's really as easy as that when we start talking about, what does it take to get into a business like this? You learning how to point, click, and share, and then move on to how do our numbers work? And the fact is they don't lie. Just chatting with people and you start saying the right things. If we can teach you the right things, you're going to find that you're going to establish some customers. You're going to get some people that might want to join you this adventure.
I think that this is going to be a customer-based company.
Oh, there's no question. But the real question is, are you duplicating? And so we like to duplicate with these postcards for lots of reasons, because everybody can do this, right? And I'll show you how you can order them if you want. But, this does all the heavy lifting. My name's on there, our phone number's on here, my email's on here, and my link is described in a writing format, collectdirect.com / my username, but it's also in a QR code.
Right.
So the person that's got technology in their favor, they could just point their camera up there and it goes to my website.
A lot of people learned when menus started changing with the QR codes.
Sure. And you're right. Going to the restaurants now, when they said we're not going to have a paper menu, they want us to have hands-free, right? So there's a lot of reason for this point, click, share thing to work, right? But the numbers don't lie. So if you talk to 6 people, you might get a couple of customers. You might get a member. And if you learn how to share with these postcards and sample with some of our dugout items, before you know it, you could be making $300, $400, $500, not guaranteeing that you will, a month. That could be $4 or $5 grand a year. And maybe that changes your life, right, for the average person. But still.
Well, you said when that bubble happened
in 2008.
In 2008,
yeah, the Great Recession.
Said that an average household needed to have an extra $280 a month,
which doesn't seem like a lot, but
$280 a month, you guys.
So why do we share you this? Because if you follow the basic steps of what we can teach in Collect Direct on these Zooms, on Saturday trainings, and so on, and you understand the principle of getting where you fit in, go to our collectible catalog, which you can go to right now. Go to collectdirect.com and go look at shop collections. There's 10,300 and growing items there. And we're talking items for from $2.98 up to $5,000. And you can order any of them if you wanted. And if somebody had sent you that link, you would get commission, or that person would get commission. So what we like to say is get it where you fit in. Buy either a membership for $9.98, which is really a yearly membership. One time you pay it, and you pay for it 12 months from now again. And that gives you access to our website, gives you access to our back office and our shopping cart, and the ability to share that with somebody. And then purchase something, right? And after you've purchased something, you've got to start committing to having the ability to give out things. And I love the sample idea of the dugout, because there's so many items in there that are like $9.98 worth of, I can give this to you to share with you what's on this big, huge website. And the trust factor's there. I'm giving it to you. I don't want anything in return, but go to my website. Here's my postcard. Go look at
the
item,
and so much
right?
of this business too is about teaching other people to do what you do. And so making a purchase so that you can actually help somebody else make a purchase is a really good start.
It's a great start. But
it's like,
but I believe with all my heart that if somebody says, well, how did you start? And you say, well, I bought the sample collection, or I bought a dugout, or I bought some random items that I wanted to hold in my hands and tell people what I was doing. They're going to do the same thing. Monkey see, monkey do. So once you get to this point, then make that commitment to get to step 3, which is, let's figure out how to duplicate this. Let's figure out with these postcards, how to order them. How do I talk to people? Who can I introduce them to? That's the third-party validation. All those things lead to, a duplication of really what can I do to really make some money here, right?
Right.
Just buying a membership.
More on doing it as a business.
It is a business.
I mean, but not everybody coming to the call today or being on here
or watching the recording after
is looking at it from a business perspective. Some people are looking at it from a customer collector perspective.
Oh, absolutely. And that's our biggest audience.
Right. And so like they might be looking at this as just an opportunity to find incredible collectibles that are really hard to find. And Dave's been collecting them for 40 years. And I mean, it's unbelievable. These things are
go to our YouTube channel and go look at some of the tours.
Thought didn't exist Dave has. So
when I think about the ability to have a collection ourselves and build my own time capsule treasure chest for the future of our kids and their kids,
yes,
it excites me because that stuff's not going down in value. I'm not going to guarantee it's going up, but I mean, the point is they're not making any more antiques, right? I mean, an antique is an antique, collectibles are a collectible. And as it 10x's, as the market goes up, there's kids that are trading again. There's card shows where they have trading areas for the kids. As that generation gets more and more excited about this industry, there's going to be less and less of the historical pieces available in bulk. They're going to be spread
well, I
out.
just saw a Tim Hortons commercial, and if you guys are from the States and you don't know what a Tim Hortons is, it's a coffee shop. It's like Starbucks. They give you hockey cards right now.
Yeah, no,
And the kids are excited about it again.
It's
and
huge.
It's
It's
really
massive.
interesting to see how people can be current with this, talking about this with their children, and also collecting and building a business and something that they can do together.
exactly. So get in where you fit in. And then I'm only going to touch on just one part of our comp plan once again, which is the retail rewards. And I want to point out to you that if you understand the sample order size on the left, I just used $29.98 as a startup point. You'd make $5. So if somebody bought an item off our website from your link, you could make $5, right? You didn't deliver it, the company delivers it. But what if you bought 3 items that added up to $29.98? That'd be approximately a $5 commission you'd get. And same with those numbers you see below. What if you had $549 worth of products that they build in the shopping cart? We're talking Barbie dolls. Eventually there's a bunch of LPs. There's coins. Of course, all the cords from all the different sports, Hot Wheels, Legos and comic books. I think there's 2 million comic books that he has already in the collection and adding. Like, he's buying collections all the time. If they keep adding to the shopping cart, you get paid an estimated $100. But there's another way I just want to touch on here to say, what if your shopping cart added up to $329.90? And there are 5 items that I randomly picked off of the shopping cart. Look, there's a Tiger Woods piece. There's a Ryan Sandberg autographed card. There's a actual Barbie collectible from 1991. There's a Pez dispenser, and there's a Richard Petty from our NASCAR collection. You add that all up, and it came to $329.90. And the question is, hey, I bought a membership, and somebody bought this $329.90 off of my point, click, and share QR code on my postcard, and I never bought anything. Could I make money? That's the question. Well, the answer is yes. You see, we have a percentage that we attach to every item in the shopping cart, and that percentage leads to commissions being paid. And in this example of $329, $54 is the estimate, plus or minus, that I would have made just for somebody buying that collection of items randomly. And folks, I'm only sharing you that because I want you to know that this is leading to our event in Sioux Falls. This is just the second hotel that's available. So if you're looking at coming on October 26th, 27th, 28th to Sioux Falls for the very first live event, where you'll be recognized as the group that was there, right? And it's a I was there event. You will find that you will have your eyes open to the 3 buckets that are going to be released there for you to be able to use to build your business. And I only want to touch on one little part of that. We talked about the cards. If you wanted to order those cards, it's collectdirectcards.com. Simple. You could go there, personalize them, and now you're in business. Okay, that's one thing you do. Or you could say, I want to come to this event. Well, folks, you're going to have to get your registration in pretty quick. It's free, but there it is. Just write that down. HTTPS. Take a picture of this. Take a picture of this, and then put it into your phone and go there and register. And let's get you there if you can. You pay for your hotel room. You get yourself there. And Dave's going to treat you while you're there to an incredible event that you're going to learn over the Friday the 27th and Saturday the 28th from 10 to 5 on those days. And you're going to get trained and taught a lot about our systems, right? That's how you register for our event if you haven't yet. And if you're watching the recording. And also, if you want to be notified about this call for Saturday, take your phone right now, hold it up to your screen, and take a picture of that QR code. And you'll be able to put your cell phone in there. That works. I've tried it. Works. And you'll get text ahead of the Zoom that we do on Saturday, right? And if you're not part of our Facebook group, go to Collect Direct on Facebook and get yourself added in there. But please tell us who sent you there. We don't want to let anybody in that hasn't got somebody saying, so-and-so invited me to come look, okay? That's important. So I wanted you to just touch on this and know that all of these bonuses and so on that we've chatted about and other Zooms that are in our past recordings on our YouTube channel. Just go to Don Carson, Collect Direct, Master Distributors, and you'll see all kinds of Zooms on our program. But if you really are at a point now where you're wondering, how this could work for you to be very successful, well, then you've got to start asking questions first and foremost. And as Nancy said, figure out why you want to do this with us. Because
I'm sorry, I'm just still thinking about the event and what I'm going to pack and what I'm going to wear.
yeah. And
I so look forward to these things. These things are just contagious energy. The people that are going to be there, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody that can make it. I'm really excited about what Dave's going to have.
well,
there
there's three kind of things that are so important for you to understand that have got us to the point where we have a great group of people that are focused on 2024. And what we're looking forward to giving you the ability to do is lead capture. We're going to talk about that at the event and show you how you're going to do that. We're going to show you how your shopping cart can be actually searched so much easier. And currently there's orders going into the company right now for retail customers every day. And it's going to be massive as we get further along in this process. So don't wait, get started. And then the third piece of the puzzle for a lot of us is, in fact, having the ability to know just what this CEO and owner has in store for you. And you're going to see that firsthand. In
so
Sioux
much
Falls.
of it too. I've said to people, like when
Like,
I've
look
covered,
around. These are all collectibles.
when I've covered events for people to different events, I said all the best stuff happens in like the after conversations, the conversations that are people are having on the side, the conversations that people are having together, the stuff, the energy that you get off of somebody. You go into a room like that and somebody's electrified with something, you take that vibration home with you. It's powerful. Like on our drive home from any event that we've ever been to, we're like peaking. Like that's when we're talking to everybody. We're talking to people about things we don't even know about. We're just like running around with our heads on fire.
Exactly.
Going.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. But folks, if any of you got any questions you want to open up to right now would be the time. We'll spend a few minutes and just answer some questions specifically on things if you'd like. And then we'll let you get going. And Saturday, we'll get a full-on training a little bit further on our program. But tonight, we wanted to start off with, you got to know why you're here. Then you got to figure out how you're going to stay here and cut out negativity. And then we're going to get into a group setting and say, here's how you do it. That's our plan for all of you for the rest of this month and for 2024, of course, November, December included. So anybody have any questions? Thank you. By the way, yes, there are Tim Hortons in the United States.
Yeah.
And so that is a good point. Anybody got anything they want to come up mute just to touch on what we've maybe touched on a little bit tonight? Go right ahead. Love to hear from you.
I've had it described to me, and I love this analogy for people that cannot make it to the event, that say, it's okay, I'm going to find out about it from somebody else. That to me is like going and getting a haircut over the phone. Somebody's going to come back. They're going to be energetic, but it's different when you're actually there. So if you can, try to be there.
We've got some people that are actually driving with us from Winnipeg there.
Yeah, well, if you had your way, we would be in a bus.
We'd be in a bus anyway. That's true. So, anyways, bottom line is, guys, thanks for joining us. We want to just touch on a couple of things tonight, approach it a little differently, saying, hey, Collect Direct's one of the only companies in the world that's ever started with a debt-free opportunity, millions and millions of dollars of inventory that all you need to do is learn how to point, click, and share with your colleagues, friends, the treasures that bring them back to their past, that can bring them to their future. And along the way, they can team build if they choose. That's our process. And that's what we're doing. So folks, thanks for joining us. I hope that you got something out of tonight, and we'll see you on Saturday on our training Zoom.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.